Welcome back for practice. Bindi is looking for treats in the drawer that's behind me. She's had her allotment. Now you have to practice contentment, honey. Santosha. Yeah. Or mitahara. Just using the right amount of resource. Oh. You know, when you have to think about the kitten, they're only thinking of the tongue and the pleasure to have the treat. But I have to think of the process through her digestion to the other side, and she has too many treats. What happens next? So there's always a kind of a yoga involved there. She would eat more treats because her tongue wants to drive her to do it. And she can't think ahead as to how that's going to turn out later. Perhaps some of you can relate to that. You've also been there. It's tasting so good while you're eating it, and then later you might have some regret. So we've been focusing this week on the yama called Arjava, which means our ability to be direct, to be forthright, to be sincere, without hypocrisy. There's a very specific translation there where we say the absence of hypocrisy. A person incapable of being hypocritical. So that quality lives in us when our sense of ourselves is less guarded, less defended, more at home in ourselves and in our deepest nature. And when, as I've been saying, the two hemispheres of the brain are more collaborative, less of a split between them. So we're going to proceed forth. I know she's looking up at me for a treat. Yeah, I'm not going to look down at her right now. I can feel her looking up at me. I'm not going to look down right now. No treat. Pretty soon I'll be doing the yama called mitahara. Mitahara means having the right amount of resource, or sharing resources wisely and well, or not overindulging in things. So I will teach her that about these treats. Okay, so please rest your hands in your lap and we'll get started. You're welcome to close your eyes. You're arriving for your seat. Pull in the fishing net, as it were, of thought or distraction. So pull in the awareness, attention, concentration into your body and your breath in the present moment. Your awareness or attention are arriving in the present. Lengthen up through your spine, lift your heart. Sit a bit into the back hemisphere of your body. And drop down into your pelvis and your seat. Knowing that we're on the path of yoga, this is a path and a practice. Each of us is in process. None of us is a product. We're not an act of perfection. We are a process unfolding. We're doing our best to integrate not only the physical asana into our lives, but also the teachings that apply to daily living. And so while we're here, I'm going to invite you to really stay here on your yoga mat, with the exception of one thing I'd like you to add in your awareness. Now, often I will say to us, put aside everything that is not relevant to the present, like your shopping list or an unfinished conversation or some emails you're going to work on later, or the house chores. Put it aside so you can really be here fully. And today I'm going to ask for us to do that, but also to add awareness of the citizens of Ukraine and Russia, and to let that be in your ambiance, that we have the privilege of being here for yoga practice this morning. We have enough safety and grounding to be here. And we know that there is great strife happening, not only, of course, in Ukraine and Russia, there's other places on the planet, but it's most visible there right now. So let's keep them in our bodies. So the feeling tone, we're here to practice. We're here to take refuge from the habits of the mind that are not so helpful to us, but we're not here to exclude the world at large. Today, can we feel our experience as a human being? So please bring your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra together. Let's begin. Om Bhargava Atsavetor Varenyo Argo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhargava Tatsavetor Varenyo Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhargava Tatsavetor Varenyo Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. It's my hope that our practice today deepens our sense of well-being and allows us to stay open to the humanitarian crisis, and also gives us a chance to cultivate that Arjava that we can then practice directness or forthrightness. Maybe we'll go to the appropriate websites and click some places to say what our vote would be or what we're advocating for, or we'll check in with the resources where we can contribute to give support over to the refugees and the citizens. So that is my hope for our practice. I'd like you to start where you're sitting, close enough to the wall or the sofa or whatever is behind you that you can use it. You can make contact with it. I would say you're about an arm's length from the wall or the sofa. So one way to check is to bring your knee up like this, and then when you twist, reach back and see if you can use the support behind you comfortably. Yeah. Great. And then let's begin. Interlace the fingers like this and push the heels of the hands forward and raise your arms up overhead. And when you're stretching up, root down into your tailbone and your sitting bones and your seat. While you keep lengthening up through the torso, root down through the hips. Let the breath encompass the space between your pelvic floor and the crown of your skull. During your inhale, which begins in the low belly, keep the eyes closed, but raise your gaze up behind your eyebrows. During your exhale, keep the eyes closed and gaze down behind your cheekbones. Again, inhale, raise your gaze inside. And then exhale, gazing down behind the cheekbones. And twice more. Inhale, slide the eyes up smoothly. Exhale, glide down smoothly. And do that one more time. Float the arms down to the side. Rest your hands in your lap. We've been doing a lot of work with the eyes over the last week or 10 days. So now resting the eyes completely. Then cross your left hand over your right and fix the fingers so you have a kind of fixed position. It's a little bit more taut, like the tent string with the tent stake. And as you inhale, raise your chest and your heart up like you're doing cow pose. Open your throat. And then exhale, curl down and in. If you keep a firm hold on your knee, you can imagine the back of the body is parachuting towards the wall behind you. Then inhale, glide forward and up. Exhale, curl down and in. Now this time, inhale, go forward and up, raise your left arm, open your eyes, and follow your left thumb open. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, raise up and return. Exhale your hand on top of your right hand and into cat pose. Again, inhale, glide forward, raise up. Big circle, follow your thumb. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, follow your left thumb up and over. Exhale, place your hand and return to cat pose. One more time. Stay for the exhale. Follow your thumb. And cat pose. Bring that back to center and relax not only the body, but also your eyes. Put the other foot on the inside or the outside, so switch your seat. And then bring your right hand across to your left. And as you inhale, raise up through your heart. And exhale, curl in and down to cat pose.
Inhale, glide forward and up. Exhale, curl through. You can keep the eyes closed so they're resting right now and you're moving the spine. Let's do it one more time. Rising up like cow pose. And curling down like cat pose. Now we're going to add the right arm. So inhale, raise up, follow your thumb, open to your right, gaze to your right during the exhale. Inhale, rise, up and over. Place your hand and come into cat pose. Inhale, begin cow pose, raise your right thumb. Exhale, gazing to the right. Inhale, raise up, follow your thumb, which is going to require concentration, which we say in Sanskrit, dharana. Let's do it one more time. Rising up. And then inhale up and over. And exhale down into cat pose with the hands fixed to your left knee. And then come to neutral or center. Relax your eyes. Please open your eyes, and the next pose, you're going to have to release your paw there, honey. Excuse me. Okay, step the right knee up and the left leg out. And let's put the right foot in at about hip distance. So you've got your left leg, right leg from the hip joints. So we're not going to cross the right knee over the midline there. Okay, take the left hand around your right shin, please. And then turn through your lower belly, mid belly, chest and heart. And as you rotate to your right, this is where I want you to use the wall or the sofa, whatever's behind you. It could be the table leg of the dining room table, whatever it is. But place your hand on a surface that gives you some support and stability and helps you to rotate your shoulder back. Lift up through your heart and turn your head to your right. Let's close the eyes, and during the inhale, gaze to the right with the eyelids closed. Gaze past where your nose can turn to. And during the exhale, maintain the twist, but relax your eyes. Inhale, gaze to your right. Exhale, return the eyes to center, keep your twist, and do this one more time. And then rotate back around to face forward. And let's switch the feet. May I? Okay, so left foot in, right leg out. Lengthen up through your spine. I have a foot warmer here. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Cross your right hand over your left shin. Lift up, rotate lower belly, mid belly, chest and heart, and then walk your left hand along the wall or the edge of the sofa or the table leg, whatever you're using. So it gives you a kind of fixed or supported position there. And as you're rolling the left shoulder back, turn your gaze to your left. With the eyes closed, inhale, glide your vision to the left inside. Exhale, relax your eyes, but keep your twist. And do it twice more. And you're going to exhale and release from there. Bring your feet into your meditation posture for a few moments, unless your circumstances are dire here with a kitten on the foot. Take a seat and see what is happening with the quality of your mind. Relax the eyes and just check and see. The mind might feel like it's more cohesive or connected. We're going to rise up to standing, sad as that's going to be for Bindi here. I'd like you to come to stand and take a wide stance on your mat. You don't need to be near to the wall right now or the sofa. You don't have to move away from it either. But you're not going to be using it for the next few minutes. Hi, honey. Why don't you stay, comfortably there, and I'll just get my toes out from underneath you. Can I have those? Thank you. Okay, I would like you to have 2 blocks, and you don't need your blankets, so you could store those if you'd like to. And then take a wide stance. Let's make the feet parallel. Bring the blocks in, place them on either side of your kitten. Yeah, just like that. And then come forward, please. Place your hands out over your blocks, and let's place the blocks so that when you walk your fingers forward, it's to walk them to the far end of the block. It's like a little bit of traction. Come into your Ujjayi breath now. And I'm going to ask you to try to keep your mind and your eyes down low in the belly. Locate the place where you sense the inhale and the exhale each begin and end. It's a common place. Think of it as a specific spot in the lower belly where your eyes and your mind can remain, even as the breath is coming and going. As if the door on the home were stable, even though the guests are coming and going. In this version of Prasarita, I'd like you to turn the toes out very slightly for each foot. And then when you next exhale, bend your right knee deeply. Keep your hands where they are. Keep your feet where they are, and the mind and the eyes down in the low belly. And then inhale, rise up to center. And exhale, bend your left knee deeply. Come down to your left, keeping the right leg straight and strong. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, glide to the right. The mind and the eyes can stay in the low belly because the pelvis is going as a unit. So when you inhale and you rise up, though the pelvis is moving, the mind and the eyes can stay where they are. Let's continue. And the next time that you bend the right knee out to the right, notice your right outer heel. Stay for 3 breath cycles. Keep both arms straight and strong as if the fingers are still providing some traction for your arms or your spine. Keep the mind down low in the pelvis where the eyes are also stable. As you next inhale, raise up to center. And then exhale down to your left side. The mind focus where the inhale and exhale begin and end.
even though the body is making strong effort in other places, or you might have exquisite or dynamic sensations here and there. And with your next inhale, raise your hips back up to center. Let's make the feet parallel now and walk your hands down to the floor between your feet, or bring the blocks back to place them between your feet. And let's bow towards the legs, please. And then shift your hands to your hips, rise up to standing.
Okay, so the kitten was not disturbed. Maybe that's a sign of the quality of my mind, or maybe it's not, maybe it's random. Okay, let's turn the feet for warrior two to the right. So take the left heel slightly out, turn your right foot. Now if you gaze down, you do want your heels to be lined up, heel to heel. So left heel lined up with the right heel. And join your hands to your heart. Close your eyes and imagine that you're gazing at your fingertips. And even while you gaze at the fingertips, set your feet, toes and heels firmly, raise your arches, energize your leg muscles, including the inner thighs. Root your tailbone. Lift through your spine, even as your gaze goes down on the fingertips. And then as you next inhale, I'd like you to sweep the hands down and start widening them apart for the pose we call warrior two. But the process I want you to use is sweep the hands down, open the eyes, follow your right thumb. And then exhale, follow your right thumb, return your hands, fingertips, close your eyes. Again, inhale, the eyes open, follow your right thumb. Exhale, follow your thumb, return to your fingertips. Once more. And then exhale, bend your right knee and come into warrior two. So you gaze at your right thumb, then close the eyes without losing sight of it. Keep your mind and your eyes really stable, then the breath and the stamina of the body are going to be more available to you. Energize your leg muscles. Keep the breath deep and smooth. I'll open your eyes to see your thumb. And exhale, follow your right thumb. Return to your fingertips. Make the right foot parallel. Then take the right heel slightly out and the left foot turns to go the other way. Inhale, follow your fingertips, then your left thumb. Exhale, return. Again, inhale. Exhale, follow your thumb. So what we start to find out is that if we can't really concentrate the mind, we can't really practice yoga effectively. But also if we give the mind a chance to concentrate, come to warrior two, we may find that we build the skill. We find our way. As you come down to warrior two, set your pose, set your gaze, and your mind. And then close the eyes without losing sight of your left thumb. So long as the eyes are steady, your mind is steady, and your breath is smooth, you're going to start feeling the little signals from your body about where to kind of shore up some strength or where to release tension. You're going to sense those places from intuition. So keep the eyes and the mind steady and the breath smooth, and listen for the information that your body's going to be providing. Your next inhale, open your eyes, your left thumb is still there. And exhale, follow your left thumb down, not with your head, but with your eyes, and then to your fingertips. Please make your feet parallel. You reach back to interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders open and back. And as you inhale here, lift up through your heart to root down through your tailbone. And then inhale, open your eyes, look up, stretch your throat, your face, your neck. And exhale, come forward and down. And as you're coming down, curl the torso down between the legs. Let the arms come overhead, whatever amount you have the flexibility for. And squeeze your shoulder blades in and then up towards your hips. Feel into your body in terms of where, again, you get the signals from your body about integrity or stamina or clarity in the pose. Keep the breath really smooth. With your next inhale, raise your chest and heart forward. Rise up slowly to standing. And then release your arms and step into mountain pose. And close your eyes. Relax really deeply and try to get a glimpse of the mind, since it's deeper than your breath body and deeper than your physical body. The mind very powerfully influences your overall health. That's why we call it a mind-body connection. Okay, I'd like you to take your 2 blocks towards the front of your yoga mat now. We're going to put the right foot forward, and I'll call my left foot my right foot for you. So generous. And we're going to put the right foot forward, left toes back, and it's going to look like the base of the crescent lunge to start there. So step 1 foot back behind your kitten. Bring the other foot forward. And start on your fingertips, please, on your blocks. Okay, let's make the back leg firm and stable. So if you tone the left butt muscles and reach back into your left heel, then press from your right hip down to your right heel. Establish the breath and help the mind to be steady. The inhalation, slowly straighten your right leg. Your exhale, deeply bend your right knee while keeping the left leg strong. Inhale to straighten.
It's a really simple action, but I'm going to ask you to coordinate it with the breath and to keep the breath and the mind both very stable. We'll do this a couple times more. When you inhale and you're gliding back, go ahead and keep the left heel lifted for this one. And as you exhale and you glide forward, also keep the left heel lifted. And now I'd like you to inhale and glide back. Keep the mind and the breath smooth. And then exhale and come into a cat pose spine. Press down through both arms, round your spine into cat pose. Notice the space you're making for the right hip joint. Then pivot your left heel to be flat to the floor. Turn it sideways, maybe we could say 45 to 80 degrees, something like that. And then inhale, raise your left arm and come up to triangle pose. Now in triangle pose, I'm going to ask you to look up at your left thumb or in that direction. Notice to what extent you can keep your mind stable. When the eyes have a physical object to look at, we call this dristi. And can you keep that as you close your eyes? And open the eyes and inhale. Follow your left thumb as you reach forward and bring that back down to the block. Pivot your left heel up. Okay, my cats have tripled in size because Nakula is twice as big as Bindi. And step back, please, with the right foot. Place your fingertips on your blocks. Close the eyes. You know these positions. You don't have to have the eyes open to navigate them. Let's inhale to straighten the front leg. And exhale to deeply bend. No sense of hurry. You can arrive in each of the poses at the end of the exhale or the top of the inhale. Think about kind of massaging your nervous system right now. Do it twice more. As you're gliding back, go ahead and keep the right heel lifted for the time being. As you glide forward, also keep the right heel lifted for now. And then inhale and straighten your front leg. When you get there, we're going to use the exhale to come into the cat pose spine. So press down with your arms, round your back, and pivot the right heel to the floor. And then inhale, open up to triangle pose. Gaze up at your right thumb and just check and see where do you need the right thumb to be so that you can actually see it. As you're gazing up and focusing the eyes like this, you might know that you're going to be closing them shortly, so make a good visual memory. And then close your eyes while keeping them in your sight, keeping your right thumb in your sight. It's possible that your balance will feel different when you close your eyes. Keep the breath and the mind smooth. Then open the eyes and follow your right thumb. Reach past your head and your ear and come back down. Okay, bend the left knee and please step your right foot forward. Step over your pets And exhale to bow towards your legs. Rise up to standing, please. And let's come to mountain pose. Just where you happen to be, you can come to mountain pose. When you arrive in mountain pose, let's reflect back on the beginning of class and just check again and see how can you be present with yourself? This practice, which is massaging the nervous system and the brain and the mind and the body. And then also hold in your humanity, hold in your heart. The citizens or the civilization that we're struggling to be. Holding Ukraine and Russia especially. We're going to take a little deeper move into the pelvis. And when we're doing this kind of work here, these are called lateral standing poses, or they're also asymmetrical standing poses. You have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. So your brain has to coordinate between the 2 hemispheres. It's very familiar for you because you've been doing it, but so you've been walking and that's very familiar, and still the walking, the lateral like this is really helpful for the cross hemisphere pattern of the brain. So let's put the right foot forward. Step the left foot back, step over and around your kittens. Put both blocks on the inside this time. Start on your fingertips. And then pivot the left heel down so it's a little bit sideways, but it has a kind of a forward angle because you're going to be keeping the torso and the pelvis forward. Okay, now let's walk the right block a couple inches forward. Place your right palm firmly there. Walk your left block even further forward and place the left hand out there. So having the right hand closer, when you straighten the right arm and you reach with the left arm, you've already encouraged a twist in your thoracic spine. Keep the pelvis level and stable. Keep the left heel grounded behind you, your right hip and right thigh steady, and walk your right hand forward next to your left hand. Release the weight of your head. And then walk the left hand back in line with your right foot. Not with the blocks, you can go without. Walk the right hand back between your right foot and your left hand. Snuggle your right shoulder under or near to your right knee. Relax the weight of your head. Allow the torso to curl down, kind of like cat pose, where the head is relaxed, but the legs are really dynamic. They're holding up your pose. And now, without looking for the blocks, walk the right hand up to its block. Walk your left hand up to its block. Walk the right block back first and straighten the right arm. Walk the left block back and place it firmly. Let's put the 2 blocks, and hopefully you have firm blocks. Please make them shoulder distance apart. Pivot the left heel up behind you and pick up your right foot with your right knee against your right arm. Don't step on your kittens. Step backwards over the kittens into dog pose. Okay, second side. What's happening, you guys? Step the left foot forward. Put the 2 blocks on the inside of your left ankle.
Pivot your right heel to the floor.
And then as you come down, walk the left block forward. I'm sorry, just a couple inches, and walk the right hand farther forward. Keeping the hips level here means press into your left heel, your left outer hip can snug to the center, reach back into your right heel. Walk the left hand over next to the right. Bow your head. You're welcome to relax the weight of the head. Place the right hand under the right shoulder in line with your left foot. Place the left hand between your left foot and your right hand. Curl the torso down. Some of you can snuggle your left shoulder behind your left knee or near to it. As you relax the weight of the head, remind yourself you have this beautiful opportunity here on your yoga mat to cultivate a deeper commitment to the qualities that we live by in yoga. They're called yamas and niyamas. We also have an opportunity to feel, to stay connected to the larger world, not to have to be overwhelmed by it. We're not shutting it out. We maintain both of these without looking at the blocks. Raise your left hand up to its block, right hand to its block. Walk the left hand back first. Walk the right hand back and make the two blocks now symmetrical, like shoulder width apart. Pick up the right heel and then pick up the left heel and hug your left knee against your left arm. And step back. Plank becomes downward dog pose. And then come down to child's pose without squishing your kitten. Yeah, you stay right there. Come down to child's pose, please. Bring your hands to your knees and rise up to Vajrasana, up to kneeling. Okay, so we are working in the hips and pelvis because it's really helpful for keeping the mind coming back down. Also helpful for digestion for apana vayu, moving downward. And it's requiring a quality of concentration we call dharana, the ability to consistently pay attention on purpose without narrating, without judging, without daydreaming or meandering off. So I'd like to continue this process with you, and I want you to bring a chair onto your yoga mat, please. You're kind of sitting right where the, let's see how it turns out. Okay, seems fine. So let's put a blanket on the edge of the chair. Like this. So you're going to pad the edge of the chair. Bring your other blanket around. We're going to create a little platform to sit on. So you take two blocks like this, or you could use your roller if you have a foam roller. And then you take a blanket to sit on. So your seat is going to be a little bit elevated like that. And then take a seat facing towards your chair. And let's make this seat first so that your feet are symmetrical. Go ahead and place them a little bit wider than together, but not exactly hip distance apart. And then let the knees go out to the side and come down. kind of like the pose we call Malasana. So when you're coming forward, you want the knees to go to the outsides of the armpits. And your head has a place to rest. I hope it reaches. Of course, you can fold more blankets or stack up your chair if you need to. Let's take the mind down low in the belly and connect to the place where the inhale and exhale, they are arriving and departing like guests. But the doorway of the home is neither coming nor going with them. The inner thighs relax to the extent possible. Please raise yourself back up to sitting. And when you come up, relax your arms over your knees. Pause to notice your body recalibrating here. So this position, it temporarily closes some of the circulation that goes down your legs, and that's on purpose. So now we're going to use it for digestive practice also, which is to say samana vayu and apana vayu. So when you come down, same sort of position, this time you'll place the armpits inside the knees and then hold your left hand on your right ankle or your right shin. Take your right hand to your right knee and twist your torso to your right. And as you're twisting, then raise your right arm out to the side so your thumb is on the horizon, you can see it. And raise your right arm up and try to follow your thumb with your eyes. So your twist isn't, your arm's not going farther than your neck and head can go. And then exhale and follow your right thumb back down. Okay, come down to the center. Bring your right arm to the inside of the right knee. Hold your left ankle or your left shin with your right hand. Place the left hand on your left knee and give a little twist of the belly to your left. And take the left arm out on the horizon and see if you can follow your thumb. So you're only turning as far as you can still see your thumb. So the arm might be able to go farther, but it's not going to go out of sight there. And then exhale and come down, following your thumb with your eyes. Return to Malasana. That's where the arms are on the insides of the knees, and your head is gently supported. And then rise up to sitting. Stretch the legs out. And notice the circulation that goes down the legs. You're welcome to straighten your legs completely. I'm just going to give Bindi a little space there. That circulation running down the legs is what I sometimes like to call the spring runoff. So now please bring your left leg into Siddhasana. So that means you fold it in like this, like a meditation position. And take the outside edge of your right foot. It's going to go here on the chair or the blanket. And so that looks like this. Okay, so it's like a little bit like doing pigeon pose, like this. Let's see, how close does the chair need to be? You want to hold on to the toes, the legs of the chair with your hand. So let me bring this around. There we go. All right, so you've got your foot and then you can hold on to, you have the choice of holding the left hand on the left leg of the chair and the right hand can go under the right calf to hold the right leg of the chair, or it can go over. Each of us has a different consideration for the length of the torso, the flexibility of the hip, the knee or the ankle. So some of you are going to want to come over. Some are going to be going under. As you bow your head and torso forward, be gentle. It doesn't matter if you're going to be able to put your forehead in the arch of your right foot or not. Please raise up with your torso, but keep your right foot where it is. Let's take the hands up on the chair seat. You could also do Bindi's pose if you want to. You can put the left leg over the left arm and under the right paw, if you can figure that out. You take the right arm now to the inside of the right foot. And if you have the body proportions for it, my upper arm is not long enough, but you could put your elbow there. And I'd like you to press the right forearm or the right elbow into your foot. And you can fix your hand to the side of the chair if you'd like. And just give a little twist of the heart to your left. It should be deepening the stretch in your right hip and making you feel like a yogi for a poster or like a cat. Put the left foot behind the left ear. Let's exhale, unwind, return to face towards your left foot, right foot, whatever foot is up there. Now I forgot if I'm mirroring you or not. And let's lengthen the leg out. So it can go on the outside of the chair. And notice the circulation coming down your right leg. And then slide your chair forward and walk yourself forward. This is called Janusirasana. Come forward. So long as you can keep your hips grounded, you're also welcome to come down to your forearms. You could stack the arms to rest your head on. That might not be within your genetics, and that is okay, but you can come down to the place that feels like yours. Please do keep your hips grounded to the blanket or the blocks that you're sitting on. For anyone for whom your knee tends to hyperextend in these kinds of positions, please either prevent that by thinking about it and being cautious, or you could put a yoga prop under the back of your knee so it doesn't have the freedom to hyperextend. And then please walk yourself back up to sitting. You can bring your chair back with you. Okay, now let's take the right leg into the meditation position. And bring your left foot up on the edge of the chair. So the yamas and niyamas. The niyamas we're going to be starting with. The first one is called saucha, which means cleanliness. So you're getting a demonstration of that today with Bindi here. It's working on her cleanliness routine. Okay, so place the outside edge of your foot on the chair, a little bit again like pigeon pose, except you have a little bit more freedom to decide here and less body weight coming directly forward over your hip. And then you can choose if your hands are going to go under or over the left leg. You're welcome to relax your head. It may not be that your head reaches the arch of your foot there, and that'll be okay. Your life will go on. Raise your torso up and cross your left forearm or your elbow into the arch of your foot. You may hold the outside edge of the chair there. I'm going to bring this closer. I'm not going to get her tail, I hope. Pink. Watching out. Okay. And then please twist to your right. And it's not going to be a big twist. Just turn the chest a little bit to your right. Feel into your left hip joint. She's twisting to the right. She's twisting so she can get to the back of her right knee. Okay. And let's exhale, come around to face forward and place your left foot down. We're going to take it to the outside edge of the chair and stretch your left leg out. There's going to be this, what I call spring runoff, as you straighten the leg, the circulation going down. And then we're going to come forward to Shavasana. And if you're not someone who's super flexible, it is okay just to come as far forward as the front of the chair, or even to stack up the front of the chair. And others who have more innate flexibility might come down to the floor. Forward bends are calming to the nervous system, and I know for many of us, the nervous system has been on alert as we're watching the world news. And so may our nervous systems feel nourished and grounded, and then able to be with the people in our hearts. Walk your hands or your torso back up to sitting. Bring your chair back with you if you had to slide it away. And rise up to sit. Now I'd like us to turn around on the seat and have the upper back of the chair be there for the upper back. So let's see how this goes for me, because the chair has to be quite a bit closer. I suppose it's going to be all right. I know I picked up part of my yoga mat with my chair. Okay, so turn around. And when you're sitting up tall like this and you lean back against the upper back of the chair, it should be possible for your shoulder blades to be right there on the edge of the chair. Reach back and interlace your fingers behind your head. I have a noisy chair. The noise of the chair is not the noise of my body. That is not my body creaking. And as you sit back, you may or may not be able to get your knuckles or your head to the chair seat, but I would like you to check you've got the edge of the chair at the base of your shoulder blades. And then press into your heels, raise your hips up so that you can put your head on the upper back, your head and your upper back on the seat of the chair. Reach to hold the seat of the chair with your hands behind your head. Hug the elbows in and keep your arms and shoulders stable. as you lower your hips back towards your seat. That is the blanket and the blocks. It's really important to keep the arms and the shoulders stable, because what you're doing here is not an armpit stretch. This is a chance to develop some thoracic flexibility. Opening the chest and the heart, relaxing the diaphragm and the abdomen. Keep the elbows in so that it widens your shoulder blades apart. Raise your hips up so that you can release your hands from where they're holding. Lift your head to hold it once again with your hands. Touch your hips down to your seat and raise up. Okay, where did she go? She vanished. I didn't see her go because I wasn't paying attention to her, but it's all clear under my chair. Okay, now keep the right knee in, left leg out. Hold your right shin with your left hand, and as you twist to your right, reach across to hold the outside edge of the chair. Please close the eyes and imagine where your right thumb is. It's farther than you could turn your head, so imagine where your right thumb is pointed up towards the ceiling. Just visualize it, and then inhale, turn your gaze towards your right thumb without opening the eyes. And exhale, soften your gaze back to center. And then inhale, turn your gaze to the right. Exhale, soften your eyes back to center, keeping your twist. One more time. Release your right hand, please. And change legs. Cross your right hand to the outside of your left shin. Lengthen up through the spine. Open as you twist to your left. Walk your left hand to the other side of the chair if you have the flexibility for it. You always have to respect your body. And then visualize where your left thumb is. And as you inhale, glide your eyes to the left. Exhale, release the eyes to center, and do that 3 times. I'm about just to pause in a kind of Malasana, but no effort. We're going to take this down to Shavasana, which I get to use my whole mat. I mean, of course, I can always move a kitten in my yoga practice if I need to. Let's take the chair back on the mat. Hold your 2 blankets. This is called the waterfall pose. We're going to come down for a little inverted Shavasana. So if you'll place yourself kneeling next to your blankets, and then you roll into position. Hello, welcome back. Where did you go? What did you do? How was the world? Well, you were really, really clean when you went out there. You had gotten all cleaned up. Yeah. Okay, so for this Shavasana, once you're set, go ahead and check that you're really comfortable with where your knees are on the edge of the chair. And the hips are supported, right? So it's like a little cascade of a waterfall. That's why we call it waterfall pose. And bring your head to center. Roll the shoulder blades under the heart. Let's do the palms face up. And let's imagine that the renewal that you're likely to experience in this Shavasana, that this renewal is a little bit like a perfume, and its fragrance can go out into the larger world. And let's imagine that that fragrance could travel all the way to Ukraine, to the land and the people, the animals, everything and everyone. For that to be possible, for that fragrance of peace to go that far from you, you have to drop into it. Yourself to deeply relax so you can become a resource of peace from within, not a sense that you're making the peace, you're resting in it. Body to deeply relax. You're dropping down to a deeper peace, one that we share. Allow yourself to keep dropping in deeper and deeper peace. That peace which is holding us all. Body to go a little deeper yet again. So you're not moderating how deep. You can welcome just a return to inner peace. And that has turned itself off. You are resting, so please continue. And I will adjust the camera. Please continue resting. Mind and the body to continue dropping down. So this piece you're able to deeply soak in. It's bigger than you are, like a sponge, soaking in the ocean. Lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your head side to side. Bring your knees towards your chest. Roll down to your right. And then return in your own way to come to your seat for meditation. For your seat, please be upright, where you feel like the center of the pelvis. It would be the center line for the spine to the crown of the skull, as if you were a clear antenna. And this inner piece can emanate out like a fragrance. You know, Anthony DeMelo said that the rose doesn't determine who receives the fragrance. It goes to everyone. And so like this, you can imagine the piece in you, which is also larger than you. The piece coming through you emanates out, and it doesn't discriminate. Fragrance won't decide who is a good person and who is a bad person. We emanate out like the oak tree spreads its branches and doesn't determine who gets to take relief in its shade. That emanation to continue from your heart, not only when we're here together, but also beyond our shared practice time. Raise your hands to your heart. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Namaste. Pause our recording so I can just be with you.